Last week, the Court of Appeal allowed a tenfold increase to 2,068 shillings in workers' monthly contribution to the National Social Security Fund (Nssf) after it ruled that a lower court did not have powers to hear a case challenging the validity of the new rates. The Federation of Kenya Employers said it's looking forward to more dialogue over the Nssf increase in a try to find an amicable solution to the issue.
When we met the CS Labour, Social Protection, we said we should have this social dialogue over the next 2 weeks with a view to reaching a resolution, because we have the 9th of March as the timeline given now for implementation or for submission or remitting of the new levels of contributions. So it's a fairly tight timeline.
The Federation said even as the government tends to focus on the increase in funds, it should consider that employment was seriously affected by COVID-19, the Russia-Ukraine war, and it is still affected by the current drought.
Not just Kenya, but economies globally are really struggling, partly because of the fact that there was the COVID, and then there is the Ukrainian war, the geopolitical tensions. And there were those challenges in terms of logistics. So all that led into a number of economies struggling.
The Federation of Kenya Employers warned that the issue of whether the new Nssf Act of 2013 satisfied the constitutional threshold of public participation before being enacted into law had not been adequately addressed.
Some parties have already gone to court, to the Supreme Court, and appealed on the Nssf matter. The Federation always finds herself enjoined to these suits when they happen because of the position that we hold. We have chosen the route of dialogue, and that is why we are indicating that we've agreed on this timeline to sit down and bring all the stakeholders round the table to agree on how best to navigate through the challenges, specifically on Nssf. And it's really unfortunate that we find ourselves where we are as a country because of the rushed implementation.
The unstable economy, too, has been termed as a serious contributor to the current outcry.
We are coming from a situation where we have had a number of factors that have pulled the economy down. The formal employment is shrinking, and yet you're relying on that formal employment for purpose of funding your budget. So we are just getting into this, challenging, very, sort of vicious kind of cycle, whereby it's shrinking and yet you're trying to extract the maximum out of that shrinking base.
Justice Hannah Okwengo, Mohamed Warsame and John Mativo have approved the Nssf Act of 2013, saying it was subjected to public participation as required by the Constitution, which demands community input before major decisions are taken. Kind Stefano, Ebri TV.